What Trump just did is absolutely insane, and probably one of the most reckless things any World Cup host has ever done. Days before kickoff, he slammed the door on entire nations and put the entire $30 billion tournament in immediate danger. This is how you blow up the biggest event on Earth before a single ball is kicked. In Johannesburg, South Africa's national team, a co-host's opening week opponent, sat with their bags packed and their charter fueled, and they could not board. Visa complications. This is the story of how a tournament sold as the most inclusive in history turned its front door into a checkpoint, and how the bill is already coming due. Start at the airports. Because South Africa wasn't the only team that learned that the invitation had fine print. When Senegal landed, they didn't get a handshake. They got X-rayed, searched head to toe the moment they stepped off the plane, on American soil, as a qualified World Cup nation. Uzbekistan got the same treatment, the full security sweep before they'd even reached the team hotel. Iran's officials didn't get searched. They got turned around, denied entry outright. Then it got personal. Ayman Hussein, Iraq's vice captain, one of the best players his country has, was held at O'Hare for 7 hours. 7. They went through his phone. Eventually, they let him in. His team's photographer was not so lucky, denied entry, sent home, erased from the trip. And then there is the one that should stop you cold. Omar Artan, the first referee from Somalia ever selected to officiate a World Cup. Named the best referee in all of Africa in 2025. He had a visa issued the week before. He landed in Miami, and they interrogated him for 11 hours about Al-Shabaab, about Somali politics, and about why he was even there. He showed them his FIFA papers and photos from his career. It did not matter. They put him in a holding cell and shipped him back to Istanbul. FIFA cut him from the tournament. His words afterward were, "I think that they have a problem with my country." He is not wrong. Nearly 40 countries, most of them African, most with Muslim majority populations, sit under the administration's travel restrictions. And a valid visa, it turns out, guarantees nothing. You can be cleared to come and still be turned away at the door. Now watch what a welcome actually looks like when you're the right team. While Senegal was being X-rayed on the tarmac, Spain rolled into Mexico to music. A traditional Mexican welcome. Celebration, cameras, open arms, same tournament, same week. Opposite door. And here is the part that should embarrass the host. Mexico managed its leg, Canada managed its leg. Neither generated a fraction of the fear now pointed at the American half of this World Cup. 3 countries are hosting. Only one turned its border into the story. So what does all that fear cost? You can put a number on it. When FIFA handed this World Cup to the US, Canada, and Mexico in 2018, the projection was staggering. A potential boost of $30 billion to the American economy alone. Hotels planned years ahead. Cities fought to be hosts. The pitch was simple. America is open, and the world will come spend. The world is having second thoughts. The receipts are piling up. The LA Times calls US World Cup hotel bookings very disappointing. Forbes quotes executives describing the tournament as a non-event. The New York Post reports foreign fans are simply skipping the United States. In Los Angeles, Miami, New York, the commercial engines of the whole thing, reservation numbers are lagging by margins the industry can't explain away. The rooms are there. The world just isn't coming to fill them. And it isn't only the market talking. More than 120 civil society organizations, the ACLU among them, issued travel advisories warning visitors about the risk of coming here at all. When the watchdogs start telling people to stay home, the door isn't just guarded. It's papered over with warning signs. If this is connecting dots you haven't seen put together anywhere else, do me a favor. Hit subscribe right now. This story is moving faster than any single outlet can keep up with. On this channel, we are tracking every piece of it. Here's what makes this almost impossible to defend. It's not just foreign fans who are uneasy, it's the home crowd. 65% of Americans, nearly 2 out of 3, say they do not want ICE agents stationed inside World Cup stadiums. That's not a poll of nervous tourists. That's the people this administration claims to speak for, saying out loud they do not want that atmosphere at their own party. And while that number was landing, the acting Secretary of Homeland Security sat in a congressional hearing that fell apart into shouting, with officials unable to say whether immigration enforcement at the stadiums was on or off the table. In Los Angeles, Sheriff Robert Luna said federal officials had assured him there would be no enforcement at the matches. He then admitted the circumstances could change. That caveat, that it could change, is the entire problem. International travel runs on certainty. You do not fly your family across the world into a maybe. Ambiguity does not reassure anyone. It just quietly empties the plane. And it isn't coming from one direction. US strikes on Iran, a nation that qualified for this very tournament, put the word boycott in the air before the draw was even settled. England's official LGBTQ supporters group, Three Lions Pride, announced they would have no visible presence at the tournament at all. Human Rights Watch called on FIFA to do more to protect queer fans traveling to the United States. FIFA's answer was the same press release reflex it reaches for every time. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. They keep saying it. The arrivals halls keep saying otherwise. Which brings us to the part FIFA does not want you thinking about. Because free movement is not a courtesy. It is the deal. A contractual condition of hosting a World Cup is that every qualifying team, every official, every supporter can actually get into the country. FIFA's own president, Gianni Infantino, said it in 2017. Any team, supporters, and officials who qualify need access. He added, otherwise there is no World Cup. Last year he went further. Everyone will be welcome in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. That promise is now lying on the floor of a Miami holding cell. And when teams started getting turned away, FIFA's response was to shrug, insisting it is not involved in host country immigration processes. Remember that line. Because in 2023, when Indonesia refused entry to Israel's team for the Under-20 World Cup, FIFA did not shrug. It stripped Indonesia of hosting on the spot. The principle was sacred then. It is optional now. So what changed? The relationship at the top. The closeness between Infantino and this administration is unlike anything in the sport's history. A FIFA president who turned up at the inauguration and planted himself at event after event. The whole justification for that cozying up was that it would keep the door open. Instead, the people running this World Cup got a front row seat to the door slamming and called it someone else's problem. A governing body that is supposed to be politically neutral picked a side, and the teams paid for it at the border. Here's the part that doesn't end when the trophy is lifted. Travel decisions don't reverse just because the politics eventually shift. Once the backup becomes the default, the old door loses its power. Look down the road and you can see 3 ways this goes. First, a managed correction. Quiet pressure forces some restraint, the matches happen, and the damage is real, but survivable. Second, a domino effect. Other nations watch South Africa's grounded charter and start routing future events away from the US, not in one dramatic break, but in 1,000 quiet decisions made from Zurich to Tokyo. Third, escalation. A single ugly incident at a border or a stadium becomes a global flashpoint. That's the door nobody wants to open, and circumstances could change is exactly the gap it walks through. So here's the real question. Did Trump just sabotage America's World Cup or expose a crack that was always there? Drop your verdict in the comments. And if you want the stories the big outlets are too slow to tell, subscribe to the World Cup Reporter. The matches are only starting, and this is moving fast.